this assignment. So this assignment is just, we are going to solve it the normal way we solve a two position synthesis. So we join A1 to A2, we join A1 to A2 with a straight line. So like this, join A1 to A2, and then you join B2 to B1 like this with a straight line. So after that, you are going to bisect A1, A2, and then B1, B2. So you stand at A1, you open more than half, you create an arc, you stand at A2, more than half, bisect them, and then you draw a line to pass through both lines, both arcs, to get a straight line. So this is bisecting A2, A1. And then we do same for B1, B2. So I stand at B1, I open more than half, create an arc, I create an arc. I stand at B2, I open more than half, I create an arc, and then I create an arc. So I'll draw a line to pass through this line as well. But I have to do something here. Since this is just a demonstration, I'm just going to draw the line without the arcs, but you are going to get something like this. It's going to intersect the line, not that place, but it's going to intersect somewhere here. So after bisecting B2, B1, the lines are going to intersect somewhere around here. Yes, so they are going to intersect around that place. And so this line will be B2, B1. And so the point of intersection, we label that point O4. So that point is O4. So the next on the question says you should join A2 to O4 with short dashes. Oh, sorry, it's O2. So the pivot here is O2. O2. And then we join A2 to O2 with short dashes. We also join A2 to O. We join O2 to A1 also with short dashes. So after that, this becomes a pivot. This line B1, B2. So the question says we should redesign the link O2 A1 so that it does not block the door. It does not obstruct the movement of the door. So we are going to redesign this link here. Yes, so this is the link we are going to redesign. So you are going to open your compass, or for the first part, you are just going to draw a line, a straight line up just above the head of the track, and then just a decent distance above it, and then you are going to draw another line from A1 to intersect the line from O2. Yes, let me ensure that it's a straight line. So a line from O2, yes, so a line from O2, a line from O2, and then another line from A1. They should intersect above the head of the track, because we are designing the link O2 A1 so that it does not block the doorway. So after that, we can label this point here as, we shouldn't use anything. Oh, let's label it, let's say V. Let's label this point V. So after gaining that point, we are going to transfer this point from O2 to V, and we are going to transfer O2 to V to the other toggle position. Remember, we redesigned O2 to A1. So initially O2 to A1 was a straight line. So let me see. So this is O2. O2 to, O2 to A1 was just a straight line. And now we've redesigned O2 to A1 to form this triangle or to form this shape. So we have to do same for O2 to A2. So it's like we are transferring this point V to this side. So to do that, you are going to use your compass to measure the length or the length from O2 to V. And then you stand at O2 and then you draw an arc here from O2 to V. You stand at O2, you draw an arc here. And then you measure from A1 to V. And then you take that length, you stand at A2, you draw an arc here. So that means we have V here. And now you join, let me use that, a red pen. So you join A2 to V. And then you join O2 to V. Just like that. And so now that's how we redesign the link O2 to A1 so that it does not obstruct the movement of the door. Okay, we are done with that. So now we want to add a hydraulic actuator. So to add a hydraulic actuator, we have to measure the toggle position, the angle between both toggle positions. So we know that there is an angle here. There is an angle here. So you measure that angle. You measure that angle, and then, or you can just use a ruler to transfer this length backward, and then you transfer this length also backward like this. So after getting, you see, vertically opposite angles are the same. So if we transfer or extend this length and then extend this length as well, the length from here to here, which is the triangle from O2 to V and then from V to A1. If we extend this line and then we extend this line, we are going to get an angle here, which is the same as the angle from V O2 to V. It will go is the angle here. The angle here is going to be the same as the angle here. So now we are going to attach the hydraulic actuator to the angle at this side. Okay. So to do that, let me erase this part. Okay. So to do that, in the question it says the minimum length of the hydraulic actuator is the distance from A1 to B1. But in the question it was actually C1 to D1. So these variables are actually C1 and then D1, not A1, B1. So we measure A1, B1 or C1, D1. That's the minimum length. And then you stand on this to any arbitrary radius or to any arbitrary length. You stand at this part of the line, of this line, and then you draw an arc. And you see the question says that the hydraulic actuator should be in this region, VQRSTU. So you measure the line A1, B1, and then you measure any arbitrary length, or you move your compass needle to any arbitrary length from this line, and then you draw an arc. So after getting that arc, the question continues to say that the maximum length of the hydraulic actuator is 1.58 times AB. So you measure the length AB and then you multiply it by 1.58, and then you stand at this point So you know that every point on this arc is actually the length of AB with respect to this pivot here. You see, we stand at this point and we made an arc. So that means the distance any point on this arc is exactly the length AB. So you stand at that length AB, and then you make an arc on the opposite side of the other. No, it should be. It's not that one. It should be this one. So the distance from this point to here is AB. Is AB. Any point on this line to this point is AB. So you stand at that point, you multiply AB by 1.58, and then you make an arc on the opposite side of the line. So on this line, you make an arc on it. That's going to be the extended or the maximum length of the hydraulic actuator. So now, the point where you stood to, the point where you see the point where you placed your compass needle to get this arc, you are going to join that point with a straight line. So let's say I place my compass needle here, and then I got this arc, which is 1.58 times AB. I got this arc. I'm going to join this point to this point with a straight line like this. And then I'll join this point, which is the AB, to this also with a straight line. So that's all. That's the hydraulic actuator. Yes. So the hydraulic actuator, the how do I describe this? The angle, the hydraulic actuator is going to create different angles at each toggle position. So you see the angle here is different from the angle here. You see the angle here is bigger than the angle here. So that's how the hydraulic actuator works. It creates different angles at each toggle position. It's not like the dial. So that's how you create the hydraulic actuator. And then I think that's all. What are we going to measure again? Are we going to measure? So I say measure distance. No, it's fake. Sorry. So we measure length O2 and then R. O2 and then R. So you measure, this is O2, the pivot to R. You measure this length. O2 to R. You measure this length. And then you measure the length O4C1 and then O4C2. It says, and hence calculate the maximum extension of the hydraulic actuator from one toggle position to another. So we are going to measure the length O4C1 and O4C2. So you measure this length. So the pivot of the hydraulic actuator is O4. Don't forget that. So when the question says O4C1, that means the length from the pivot of the hydraulic actuator to C1. So C1 is the same as A2. You see, in the question is actually saying C1. So that means A1 and then B1 are actually C1 and then D1. So you can measure the length from here to here. That is O4C1. The length from here to here is O4C1 and then O4C2. Wait. Here is actually O4C2. You see, here is A2. So that means if we are to convert it into C, it's going to be C2. So O4C2 is going to be this length. And then O4C1 is going to be the length from here to here. That's going to be O4C1. So this is, and here is A1. So if we are to convert it back to the C, it's going to be C1. So O4C1 is going to be this length. You measure this length. And then it says calculate the maximum extension of the hydraulic actuator from one toggle position to the other. So you are going to, you see, the maximum extension of the hydraulic actuator is actually 1.58 times AB, because that's the maximum. So I got 4.424 centimeters. So 4.424 centimeters. So that's all. Thank you for watching and see you on the next one.